Hey, what's up? It's Ryan from Classroom Brew. I've been doing my podcast for almost 2 years now. I remember when I was searching for microphones, I wasn't sure what was going to be good. I just kind of did a little bit of research using YouTube. There's not a lot out there in terms of the comparisons that I was looking for. Everyone always compares the Samson Q2U to the Audio-Technica ATR 2100, or they will compare an SM48 with an SM58. But I thought, you know what? Those are two microphones that I have some of these for my students, and I started off with the Q2U. Let's do a comparison.
Before we get started, I highly recommend you guys listen to this video using headphones so you can actually hear the difference. All right, so what I'm going to do for my comparison is I actually have both microphones a little bit off axis. And right now what I can already tell, and now I can make sure they're a little even and just give them both a fair shot, right? But what I can tell already is that the SM48, which is on my right over here, requires a little bit of gain, so I am going to bump that up a little bit. Now, for the sake of this video, I am not going to do too much post-processing, at least in the beginning. I also do not have any windscreens or pop filters on, as you can tell. This is just the internal pop filter that's inside each of the cases for the Samson Q2U and the Shure SM48. Now, in terms of going back and forth, I'm just going to talk normally, and really, when I go through in Audacity or Reaper, whatever I choose to use to edit this, I'll put that in the description. I'm going to keep it raw. And then when it's time for me to do what I would normally do to make it comparable audio to what I currently have on my show, and my show is currently being run on, this is with the Zoom H6, and also I have three now, Shure Beta 58As. It's a much more expensive microphone, but I really do like its portability, and I think it sounds comparable to the Shure SM7B, which is the most popular microphone in terms of voiceover and podcasting. But for the sake of this video, we are only going to compare the Samson Q2U and the SM48. If you do want to see a comparison, either a three-way comparison or choosing one of these two microphones to the Beta 58A, just let me know. Happy to do that. For now, I just figured we would go with the comparison of the starter microphones. So one of the reasons that I went with the Samson Q2U when I started out is that if you notice on the back, there's actually not just the XLR input, but there is a USB input and there is a spot for your headphone jack. And so I started out not entirely knowing what I wanted to do with my podcast, and I thought maybe just one microphone, or if I wanted to get two, I thought, great, I'll just get two microphones in the USB port and then that'll work. Problem is that doesn't work in actuality. In theory, sure, but does not actually work. You do need a mixer of some sort. I started off with a Behringer Euphoria. It was like a 202 HD, simple 2-in, 2-out mixer, USB into your computer. And honestly, for the first year and a half of my podcast, I was more than happy with the Samson Q2U. Really, at a certain point, I just thought, you know what, it would be nice to upgrade. But was it necessary? Not necessarily. A lot of people, they like to bite the microphone when they're talking into it. So this is on the Samson Q2U. Again, I'm biting the microphone. This is with the Shure SM48. Someone talking over here, this was what you would hear on the SM48, and if I was over here on the Samson Q2U. The SM48, this is actually, I have quite a few of these microphones for my students at the school. Now, I know if you record in MP3 format with this microphone, it gets a lot of really funky, almost like if you could hear the matrix, you know, the ones and zeros, I feel like that's what it would sound like. So my overall takeaways, in terms of the notes that I kind of jotted down as I was listening to these, it seems like the Q2U is a little bit brighter versus the SM48. I think it has a little bit of a sharpness to the top end. It almost kind of sounds like I'm speaking through a filter on the SM48. I think the Q2U, for the price point, which I think is around $60, which includes like a stand and the cables that you would need, I think it is the superior microphone to, I think, the $35, $40 SM48, which only comes with a mic clip. I think the benefit for going with a Samson Q2U, and you guys have heard the difference. I'm not going to go into different things like rejection and off-axis things because you can hear that in plenty of other YouTube videos. I think just listening to it and going back and forth, and you'll see that I've labeled it for which mic has been going off and on during this video. I think just hearing it in regular spoken audio really helps. Really, I do think for this purpose, the Samson Q2U, because it offers the versatility of doing USB and XLR, that's probably your best bet, at least if you're starting out. Now, do I claim to be an expert? Absolutely not. I barely know what I'm doing. But if you guys do like this microphone review, I think there's a lot of great ones out on YouTube. I honestly just wanted to go with what I would have wanted to see at the time that I was looking into my introductory starting microphone. If there's something else you wanted me to do, just leave a comment or message me, whatever it may be. And of course, you can check out my podcast, Classroom Brew, wherever you listen or watch podcasts. All right. Thanks, guys.